This could very well be my last Branded Despia deck profile ever. And it's not because I'm quitting the deck altogether, it's because there's no way of actually knowing how long this deck is going to be playable for. There's still a ban list looming on top of all of us. Branded Fusion could go to 1, and right now Branded Despia doesn't seem to be at a very good place in the meta. I'm of course playing Chimera, which is very good, very enjoyable. You can check out my profile and my 6-0 tournament recap in the link right here. But for now, Branded Despia is just a passion project for me. You all know how much I love the deck, and in this video, I want to show you all of my most expensive Branded Despia cards, walk you through the history of how I got them over the last few years, and sort of say a farewell to the deck at its peak, probably right now. So sit back, relax, enjoy this high quality footage of all the beautiful high rarity cards. And let's dive into the deck itself. So the deck is not going to be an actual, playable strategy, but it's more a deck consisting of all the high rarity cards this deck has to offer. And from what I've looked, this is probably one of the most expensive decks in history. The most expensive archetypal decks, or theme-centric decks at that. There's of course a few other decks that are notable here. Lightsworn, Heroes, Sky Strikers, all pretty much fan favorites and have very expensive high rarity prints. And if you consider Branded among those, I think Branded is in a really good spot because it has received a lot of love from Konami over the last 2 years. Let's dive in to the deck itself and a little bit about the cards that I have here as well. Fallen Valbaz, the central monster of the deck, what makes the deck run, released originally as an ultimate rare in OTS 19. OTS ultis are always super fun because one, they give you a really good chance to grind your locals, open a lot of OTS packs, try to win in order to draw these cards and pull them out of the packs. And if not, you can trade them for other cards in your collection or buy them relatively cheap because a lot of people pull them in your locals. So it gives you a chance to connect with other people, which is always good. And I'm really happy that they chose Fallen Valbaz as an ulti for the set. And of course, you cannot forget the other boy in the story, Aluber, which was an OTS ulti in the next OTS tournament pack. Just, beautiful. I couldn't believe it because they reprinted this card really, really quickly with Ghost of the Past. Then they announced it as an ultimate rare. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But it makes sense because when Striker was a deck, it also received a lot of love consecutively, OTS after OTS getting ultis, and Aluber is no different in that scenario. And then we have another girl that really makes the deck go, and it's Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. So, funny story about Cartesia specifically in the context of this deck. This one was my first Starlight I ever bought, and it was right after Darkwing Blast actually released. I saw that the deck is going in the direction of high rarity, and I wanted to start picking up on that because I figured out this is the deck I love. This is what my channel revolves around and could revolve around for a long period of time. I love the deck to death, and eventually it paid off because I won my nationals with it, which kind of solidified my investment and commitment into the deck. But this very copy I actually purchased from Ruxin34 himself, who pulled it live on stream. I immediately messaged him and I said, hey, I want this. I've known Ruxin for a while, and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll send it over. This is my only, not my only American Starlight, but other than this and one other card that you will see in the extra deck, everything is European print. But I did keep this one because of its story and its origin. So Cartesia is obviously just beautiful. And then another duo that you can just play two of, and it's enough, especially in this build, which is Guiding Quem the Virtuous. What really made the deck really powerful for its finale. This card is just amazing. A really, really good addition to the deck. Both of them are European print and just beautiful overall. The story about one of them is that I had my Quem, but I actually picked up this Quem specifically, which I ran at one copy in my Nationals deck the day of the tournament. I found somebody who pulled it from another locals. We met at Nationals. I bought it. And I was like, I'm super invested in this deck. Bought it for the price that almost like it is today, probably a little bit higher. But it was fun. It was really exciting picking this up in the morning of the Nationals. A beautiful card. Then a new addition to the deck, the Bystial Lubellion. Bystials and Despia and Branded always, working together. And this card being so amazing, so beautiful as well. I also have a giant card that I printed for this card because I just love the art so much. It's just so powerful, so big and strong, and absolutely love it. And of course, it's the embodiment of a Luber turning into a Despia, which is into a Bystial, which is always really, really good to see. I actually got a message from another YouTuber the day that the reveals came out on YouTube. Nobody pulled this as a QCR. Nobody knew this existed in the set. So I got a message sending me a picture of somebody who actually pulled it, and they said, "Hey, you might want to check this out." I immediately messaged Ollie from Tier Zero Games. Shout out to them, getting me all these cards just right on time. And I messaged him and it's like, "Hey, listen, here's the picture. Bystial Lubellion is in this set. Put this up on the website so I can buy 3 of these." And he did, and I picked up these 3 because I knew that I had to get them. Just so important for the deck. So a little bit of a break from high rarity. Then of course we have the Saronir, which just got an upgrade as a secret, which I don't have yet because I'm kind of iffy on I like the original prints, but I'll get it someday. I didn't open the tins, but yeah. Ad Libitum as a super Burst of Destiny original print. Beautiful card, such a strong and good card. And then Tragedy, which got an upgrade in Ghost from the Past 2. Albion the Shrouded, which has a beautiful super rare. I absolutely adore super rare prints, and this one is just a beautiful card to have as a super. And then Mercurier, which was released in the structure, hoping for this one to get an upgrade outside the structure as well. And then we have another card which is not high rarity, not max rarity, for example. In this one, Dark Magician has a lot of prints, and it also has a lot of high rarity and max rarity prints, notably, probably the LOB first edition version. It's probably the most expensive one. I do have this one, which I posted on Twitter a while ago. Should I open this card and put it in my deck? A lot of people said, absolutely not, Galzo, you're crazy. This is a beautiful card. Came out in the Adidas promo. You can actually see the watermark there. And I'm probably not going to open it because they just released a QCR of this art in the tins as promo. This is not a branded card, so I'm not necessarily looking to invest a lot of money in this card specifically, but the reason why this is in the deck is, of course, high rarity, and we'll get to that. The latest addition to the deck, Branded Fusion. A very fitting finale to the story in terms of the high rarity prints. This card coming out as an ulti in OTS 22, taking a little bit of a break to give Sprite and Castura a little bit of time to shine, and tier limits, of course, in OTS 21, then releasing this card. Just a beautiful card. They put their heart and soul into this holo. You can see, of course, all of my ultimate rares are European. They just look different. They have a lot of embossing, much more than the American ones, and they just have so much texture, and it's just beautiful. The funny story, if you don't follow me on Twitter, is that I got this copy from a friend who pulled it at Locals, but I actually pre-ordered these 2 from someone on Facebook a long time ago, 2 months ago, just when this card came out. Sent me a picture of these 2. Do you want them? It was a fairly good price for the first week of this card being out. I was like, hell yeah, send it over from another country in Europe, which is close to me. It took these 2 45 days being lost in the mail to get to me, which in my opinion adds a lot of value to the chase after the rarities. It was really frustrating, but also exciting to wait for these because a lot of people just pulling more and more in Locals, and I'm like waiting. I'm still playing my super rares until I have my ultis. This card is everything. I absolutely love this deck and this card, and it's really, really fitting that they would end it with the high rarity print for the card who started it all. Non-archetype cards, but also relatively new. Super Polymerization, a card that usually goes in and out of branded decks, just because of the synergy with being able to fusion summon. This is not the actual max rarity of this card because this does have a Starlight in Balance of Legend Crystal Revenge, but I wanted to pick these up for a fairly cheaper price. And to be honest, the foiling on Starlights in QCR, no matter what anybody tells you, you can also see this in this video very clearly, it's the same foil. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really like this gold, sort of like old school foiling of the text, and the watermark is fine, but I enjoy this. This is not, again, an archetypal card, but it is a card that has a lot of synergy to the deck, so, you know, we play it. 3 branded opening, got a secret rare upgrade. This card in Super was really expensive back in the day when it just came out, and Fusion Deployments, which did get a reprint in the tins of 2022 as a prismatic. Now, these ones I wanted to include even though they are currently not max rarity, because in November we are getting the Rarity Collection, which has Nadir Servant in it, in 4 new max rarity rarities. This will be in QCR, new Ultimate Rare, new Collector Rare, and of course, an extra secret rare or a platinum secret rare. We'll have to decide what we want to get. Leave it down in the comments. What is the rarity that you consider max rarity for this card? Because this is definitely going to be in the deck. This is actually the first frame of the story. The first frame of Albaz falling from the sky. You got to play this in max rarity, and they know. Then we have, finally, a super rare for Branded Lost. This is max rarity, guys. It's just beautiful. Branded in red, again, only original print. No rare or common nonsense. Foolish, this is actually like, besides the champion pack, I think this one is the most expensive one, the Lost Art, which I really like. I'm cool with ultra rares. And then we have Goldsark, which has 2 max rarity printings besides this. Of course, it was a prize card, but it also has a Pharaoh's Rare printing. So there's still room to grow. Then my favorite card in the deck, most beautiful card, Branded Retribution. Now we go to the extra deck, which is, again, really stacked because they gave a lot of love to this deck. I was sitting on my balcony outside, having a drink, talking to my guys over on Discord, when the Photon Hypernova sneak peeks openings or set reveal on YouTube came out. And at the end of it, they always release the Starlight. And they were like, yeah, branded players, Starlight Mirror Jade is coming in Photon Hypernova. I was just screaming. I was like, I have to buy this. I already bought the Cartesia. But then I was like, I mean, that's it. I'm in. I'm in for the long haul. Beautiful card, super deserving of this rarity. One of the strongest boss monsters ever released in the game, I think. Just beautiful. Really, really happy to have this one. It's really special. Then we have 2 Albions, which is nice that they got a prismatic upgrade in the tins. Again, 2022, I think. Yeah. And then 2 Granguignol. I think playing 2 Granguignol, like realistically, is actually good if you're playing more than 1 Quem, which we are, because this is a max rarity build. It doesn't really matter what it does. Beautiful Starlights, again, pushing those, you know, branded girls. Of course, Cartesia is right here. Just, again, beautiful card, beautiful Starlight, really happy about this. And we have 2 recent purchases. Guardian Chimera is a collector. Actually a beautiful card. I don't really like collector rares that much, but in the right lighting, this card really shines, really pops out. You can see the texture, you can see the foil around the edges. Absolutely beautiful. Again, a really, really good boss monster released in the last few years. Just really fun to have this in the deck. And this gets another chance to live with me in the Chimera deck, which we do run, of course, 2 of these because this card is so good. Dragoon is my other American print. A beautiful Starlight, which I picked up right after, I don't remember which YCS it was, but when people started playing Dragoon, I was like, yep, I think it's time to pick this up. Also before it goes up in price. So I did. Really happy about this because I was always a Dark Magician fan. I always loved this card, and I think it's a really special card. It's extremely powerful, one of the strongest and coolest boss monsters ever released in the game. Very deserving of this print, and I'm really enjoying this, especially because I get to run a Dark Magician in my deck, which barely any people can say that in 2023. And then this was actually the first Starlight I got, now that I'm thinking about it. Albalenitas, coming out of Defo. Now, I got this off of eBay, off of a random seller. It was really cheap compared to the other Starlights in this deck. And you can see that the European print doesn't really shine that well. I think it was Dimension Force specifically that had really weak Starlights, but this card is, first of all, beautiful. Second of all, this card is the next frame after Branded Fusion happens, because Albaz and Aluber fuse into this guy. And it was really fun setting Albaz and fusing with a board of dragons. And lastly is the only non-fusion in the deck, Despia and Lulu Wallowith. Again, the deck getting high rarity prints for like 2 years or like 1 year since they released Albaz as an ulti. Just a beautiful card. Synchros are really, really nice in Starlight Rare foiling. Again, one of the more important antagonists and protagonists to the lore. Fleur de Lis. It was mostly a protagonist, to be honest. But here, turning into a Despia, taking down Dispatter. It's a really, really beautiful card. And yeah, 4 more cards in the extra deck. This guy should get a reprint sometime. Albion, beautiful card that I would really like to... I mean, I would really love to have this in the Starlight. The art is just beautiful. Titaniclad in the Rise of the Duelist. The Rise of the Duelist print. This was the first fusion of Fall of Albaz fusion. So you gotta have it in the original print. European Rise of the Duelist first edition. And then Garura for the Super Poly. Expensive card at some point. Recently got a reprint. Beautiful card. Had that anyway. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed making it. I was waiting for those brand fusions to make this video. It was a chill one, not super informative, but kind of like running through my journey with the actual physical cards. It's not about how much money you spend on a deck. It's about your dedication, your commitment, your love, your enthusiasm. It doesn't really matter how much money a person spends on a deck, but it does matter that you eventually love the game and enjoy what you do. So if you have to spend a little bit more money to show your appreciation, I think that's absolutely fine. This is a hobby. It's not supposed to make us money necessarily, but it is supposed to, you know, make our lives richer in, you know, interest and in love and in passion, and not specifically in money. I do hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe. I do hope that this is not the last one, but it could be, because we don't know where this deck is going. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.